Hello everyone, welcome to Chemistry EduHub channel. Today we are going to talk about the buffer solutions. So what is a buffer solution? For any solution, if you add a buffer solution that will resist the change in the pH value by the addition of little amount of strong acid or a strong base or by dilution. What does this mean? Suppose to a solution, if you add a strong acid, what happens to its pH? pH will drop. Suppose if for the same solution, if you add a strong base, then the pH is going to increase. So in order to maintain this pH to a certain range, what we are going to do is we add buffer solutions. So when there is a buffer, when you add a small amount of strong acid or strong base also, there will be a resistance to the pH. The best buffer that we can talk about is the blood that all the mammals have. So this blood will have the pH range of 7 to 7.4. So whenever you eat any alkaline foods or acidic foods or drink a lot of water, still the pH of the blood will be 7 to 7.4 only, and the pH of the body will be same. It's because of the buffer that we have in the body. Not only this, there are so many uses of the buffer solutions, and let us see what are the types of buffers that we have and how can we get it and their action. So these buffer solutions are mainly two types. One is acid buffers, the other are basic buffers. So how can you prepare an acid buffer? We take a weak acid and also salt of a weak acid and a strong base. That is, the weak acid that we take here is the acetic acid. And what is a salt of weak acid and strong base? The weak acid that you take is acetic acid again, and the strong base is sodium hydroxide. So when these two are reacted, what are we going to get? We get the salt as CH3COONA plus H2O. Now this is the salt of weak acid and strong base. So the combination of weak acid and its salt of strong base, this is considered to be your acidic buffer. The same way, basic buffer is prepared by taking weak base and a salt of weak base and strong acid. So the weak base that we considered here is ammonium hydroxide. This ammonium chloride is obtained from ammonium hydroxide, that is the weak base, and a strong acid like HCl. That results in the formation of ammonium chloride and H2O. So basically, H from acid, OH from base are turning into water. Similarly, here OH from the base and H from acid will form water, and the remaining one is the salt. So this way your basic buffer is ready as NH4OH and NH4Cl. The pH of these buffer solutions can be calculated by using Henderson's equation. This is the name of the scientist. So pH is equal to pKa plus log of concentration of salt by concentration of acid, where the pKa for the acid will be equal to minus log of Ka. Similarly, for pOH we use this formula pKb plus log of concentration of salt by base, where pKb is nothing but the negative logarithm of Kb. What is Ka and Kb? Acid dissociation constant and base dissociation constant. Now, the pH of a buffer solution will depend upon the nature of the constituent particles. Based on the nature of the weak acid and weak base or strong acid and weak base, the pH value will vary, and it varies from one buffer to the other. And also, they work effectively at a particular pH range only, and their work or efficiency is maximum when the components, that is salt and base or salt and acid, are in equal concentrations only. Suppose if we add excess amount of acid or a base to the solution, the buffer cannot resist, or the action of buffer is negligible. The pH will still change. So you should not add excess of acid or base. You should add only small amount or little amount of acid or base, only then the pH will resist. Now let us understand the most important part of the video, that is the buffer action. How actually this buffer works. So acetate buffer is the acid buffer, ammonium buffer is the basic buffer. We are taking two different buffers for the comparison. So acetate buffer is nothing but acetic acid with sodium acetate, and ammonium buffer is ammonium hydroxide with ammonium chloride. Now how does this work? Acetic acid is a weak acid. We know that weak acid does not split completely, does not ionize completely. But sodium acetate is a salt, so it splits it ionizes completely. So what is formed? Sodium acetate, when ionizes, it forms acetate ions and sodium ions. And acetic acid will split into acetate and H plus ions. So overall, in the acetate buffer, what all ions are present? Acetate ions are present, then sodium plus ions are there, and H plus ions are there. Similarly, if you consider ammonium buffer, there is ammonium chloride salt which forms ammonium ions and chloride ions, and ammonium hydroxide, which is a weak base, turns into ammonium ions and OH minus ions. So what all ions we see here? We see ammonium ions, OH minus ions and chloride ions. So whenever you add a small amount of strong acid to this buffer, then strong acid supplies H plus ions. Then this H plus ions combines with the acetate ions to form acetic acid. The same way, whenever you add a small amount of strong base, now what does strong base supply? OH minus ions. OH minus ions combine with the H plus ions present in the buffer and forms water. In both the cases, acetic acid formed will resist the pH change, and the water formed is also resisting the pH by diluting. So when a strong acid or a strong base is added to the acetate buffer, we are getting acetic acid again and water, which is helping in the resisting of pH, and the pH remains constant. This is the action of acidic buffer. The same way, if you look at basic buffer, suppose you add a strong acid, what happens? H plus ions are supplied. Now those H plus ions combine with the OH minus ions present in the buffer to form water. And when you add a strong base, a small amount, it supplies OH minus ions. Now those OH minus ions combine with the NH4 plus present in the buffer to form ammonium hydroxide, that is the weak base. So in both the cases, it is helping in resisting the pH change, and hence the pH is remaining constant. This way, an acid buffer or a basic buffer works in the many reactions. Now here comes the applications of buffer, which is the most important concept that you need to learn. So basically we observe the applications of buffer in chemical analysis. It is widely used in the chemical analysis. It is used in the industries, in the synthetic processes. It is mainly used in the enzyme catalysis. That means in our body, most of the reactions are catalyzed by the enzymes only. We need to eat a lot of protein because proteins are enzymes, and those enzymes help in the catalysis or boosting up the chemical reactions happening in the body. So which are generally pH based reactions. And buffer is mainly used in many biochemical reactions in our body, in many organisms, etc., which happen at a definite pH again. And it is used in the estimation of hardness of water. So when you want to check the hardness of water, you can use a particular buffer like EDTA. Ammonium buffer can be used. By using the EDTA method, we can find out the hardness of water. And buffer is mainly used in tonics and syrups in order to maintain the pH value constant. Because if the pH changes, the tonics and syrups might change its taste and configuration. So for maintaining the pH, buffer is added. Mainly It is also used in the preservation of food materials. It is used in the identification of radicals in the qualitative analysis, in salt analysis, etc. We use the buffers for identification. It is used in the fermentation process, dyeing of fabrics, tanning of leather. It is used in the manufacture of sugars, calibration of pH meter. Calibration in the sense, before starting any instrument, we need to calibrate or make it to 0 so that we get the correct readings. For such calibration, we use buffer solutions. Buffers are also used in shampoos, body lotions, detergents in order to maintain the pH range. Generally, we use pH balanced lotions and detergents. So, to maintain such pH, buffers are used. These are also used in clinical tests, injections, etc. So, there are a lot of uses for buffers in our day-to-day life. With this, you can understand how important the buffers are. Thank you.